What is it about lights in the night sky that fascinates and terrifies us? Are there beings from other worlds or dimensions observing us from above, monitoring our progress, or investigating our world for some sinister purpose? Could these be hoaxes, perpetrated by people for unknown reasons? Are they military aircrafts only known to exist by a privileged few? Or are we simply seeing some kind of natural phenomenon, far beyond our understanding? Whatever they are, we gaze into the sky and anxiously wonder, what is staring back? Sasha, a young woman from Los Angeles, had just moved to Lake Zurich, Illinois with her girlfriend Erin. It was tough for them both as a young lesbian couple in a predominantly white conservative area. Sasha, being a city girl from California, was especially out of her element. On a clear night, sometime in May of 2004, the two had decided to visit some of Erin's friends in Mundelein. Sasha was excited to meet some friendly people in her new area of residence. Everyone got along great, and after hours of getting to know her new friends, they had decided it was time to go. At 2 a.m., the stars were exceptionally bright. They barreled down a 2-lane highway connecting the separate towns, in Erin's beloved T-top Camaro. Sasha was staring out the windows and marveling at the sight of the beautiful stars and the open fields while she was reflecting on her new journey. She gazed at the stars and panned the skyline when she noticed a strange light to her left, through the driver's side window. It was an extraordinarily bright, expanding red light with a wide-reaching orange aura surrounding it. The light was too bright to be a flare or fire, and had an artificial look to it. It was illuminating the area around it, which had no buildings or structures to explain its source. The more she looked at it, she realized it seemed to be sitting or hovering just at the horizon in the distance. "What is that?" the two said to each other at the same time. They both wondered what the origin of the eerie red glow was, as it sat perched on the horizon. Could it be someone burning something that ignites with a red glow, and somehow doesn't change shape or size? Just then, another light appeared on their right side, a little further away than the first light, but at the same height as the other. Both lights were the same color and brightness. Sasha couldn't tell exactly how far away the lights were, given the area was so flat and the scarcity of buildings for reference. As she pondered the distance and origin of these two lights, a third emerged in front of them, at the same height as the others, but even further away. Sasha began to think about how they were on a 2-lane highway, in what to her was the middle of nowhere. What if something happens to us out here? Would anyone find us in time if we needed help? As she considered the worst possibilities in her head, she came to realize they were almost surrounded by these menacing illuminations. What could these identical lights possibly be, levitating and looming in the distance? Sasha felt a wave of dread wash over her, as the possibility of the lights being extraterrestrial creeped into her mind. The overwhelming notion to turn around and drive the other way hit her hard. "Please turn around," she blurted out at Erin, her eyes filled with fear. But Erin refused. Sasha then told her how scared she was, but she was told she was being ridiculous, and there had to be a normal explanation for what they were both seeing. Besides, this was the only way home. The crimson illuminations didn't seem to move, but were also not propped up or held by anything. Sasha then thought, what if this is a massive UFO, and we are underneath it? She looked up through the T-top of the Camaro, but could still see the stars in the space between the 3 red lights. Being able to see the stars did not deter her from reasoning there could be a colossal-sized aircraft hovering in the night sky. As they drove on, Sasha just stared at the red and orange luminescence lingering around them, hoping they would arrive home safe. As they got closer to civilization, the lights disappeared, but Sasha was still shaken and disturbed by what they just experienced. That night would be a sleepless one. It's a little over 4 years later, and Sasha was single and now back in California. It was her day off and she was relaxing at her apartment, laying in bed, watching a documentary on the History Channel. The documentary was about the Tinley Park Lights event in Illinois. On August 21st, 2004, hundreds, if not thousands of people witnessed 3 lights hovering in the sky. It was one of the largest mass sightings recorded. The number of witnesses was so high because of fans leaving Ozfest, which was an annual music festival tour, headlined by Ozzy Osbourne. The documentary had video and photographic evidence of the encounter from witnesses, showing a V-shaped object with lights on its corners. That same wave of dread from years before washed over Sasha once more, as the memory of her experience came flooding back. She listened fearfully as the witnesses described almost exactly what she had seen that night in Illinois, only months before the Tinley Park encounter. The lights were seen throughout the area, with all reported sightings involving 3 red or white lights in the shape of a triangle, moving in unison. They hovered for half an hour and made no sound audible to witnesses. After leaving the Illinois area, the triangular lights were seen in Minnesota, Texas, Canada, and Australia over the following few days. They would appear again in Illinois, the night before and the night of Halloween 2004, adding to the ominous glow in the night sky on All Hallows Eve. Sasha still wonders to this day what those 3 red lights in Illinois were. She was terrified and yet relieved to have some assurance from all over the world that she wasn't alone in what she saw. There are many theories as to what was actually seen the night of August 21st, 2004 over Tinley Park. Some people have explained the mystery away as flares attached to balloons, which a group attempted to recreate, only to see failure. There was also an air show occurring in Chicago at the time, which possibly could be involved, but the unknown aircraft seen above Tinley Park has been estimated to be 1,500 feet in length, making it far larger than any known aircraft on Earth. With so many witnesses, and the large amount of video and photographic evidence, experts have been able to debunk many of these hoax theories. Some believe it could be a kind of drone technology, made to look like a larger craft, which would mean the military was involved, as drone technology wasn't available to the public until years later. As humans, are we even open to the possibility of life from other worlds? Does the concept of a species significantly more advanced than our own terrify us, to the point of labeling it mere science fiction fantasy? In order to subside our fear and go on with our lives, we are willfully ignorant to the probability that we are not alone in the universe. With the US government's acknowledgement of UFOs, we are left to prepare and wait, as what we once thought to be fantasy quickly becomes reality.